Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Makakwadash. This is Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So this is Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, telling his sons, the 12 tribes, that which shall befall them in the last days. Okay, meaning in the end, where they would be, what would be happening to them. This is Genesis 49 and 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Okay, so I want to go into this word here, haven, right?
Strong's H2348, Chof, Chof, and the form just below that, Chof, Chof.
Okay, so it says just below that, because it says he shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships. They're both the same word. Okay, so let's go into it. He shall be an haven, from the unused root meaning to cover. Seashore, coast, shore. Haven, shore, coast, side. From an unused word meaning a cove, a sheltered bay. Coast of the sea, haven, shore, seaside. Okay, so from there, I wanted to go to this picture here. When you see this is the 12 tribes of Israel land allotment, and you see Zebulun here in purple, surrounded by Asher to the north, Naphtali, Issachar, and Manasseh on the south, totally landlocked. In no way could he be a haven of the sea and a haven for ships. So it had to be true what Genesis 49 and 1 said, right? Gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Okay, so we know that the tribe of Zebulun is landlocked here. But in the Americas, because it says right here in 2nd Esdras 13, okay, this is 2nd Esdras 13 and 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, these are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanessar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Okay, you can read the rest for yourself. I'll go into 41 really quick. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, and that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Okay, I'll just finish it. That they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. And through that country was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsaret. Right? So, if we go to a world map, you see that they started their voyage. They started their voyage here in the Holy Land, entered into the Euphrates River, came down around the Horn of Africa and to the Americas, right? And from there dispersed. Okay, so let's go back here to Genesis 49 and 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships. That haven of ships is, show you right here, the Panama Canal, right? That looks like a haven of sea, haven of ships, right? Uh, Panama Canal. Panama Canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the narrow Isthmus of Panama. The length of Panama Canal from shoreline to shoreline is 40 miles. Okay, so it connects the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, to save time from going around the dangerous the tip of America and all of that. So there's your haven of the sea. Okay, there's your haven of the sea, and he shall be an haven unto ships. That's Zebulun dwelling at the haven of the sea, at the shore of the sea, because he's surrounded on both sides by tribe of Zebulun, Guatemala to Panama. It shows that Issachar and Zebulun would be dwelling close by one another, given that they are mentioned and grouped together within the same prophecy. We also see this with Simeon and Levi being grouped together, as the Haitians and Dominicans live on the same island. But we see that from Guatemala to Panama, who is the tribe of Zebulun, they are surrounded on both sides by seacoast, and that through the Panama Canal, you see here, because it is in this little notch right here, and it has a cove on both sides, it is a haven, a safe place of passage for ships. You don't hear ever about uh, the Panama Canal going through any kind of distress or anything like that because of where it's situated. Most hurricanes come to these islands over here, Florida, to the Gulf of Mexico, up around here, all throughout Mexico, even probably to Costa Rica, but you never hear Panama in the news going through it. So it's a haven for ships, right? And then I want to go up here and starting right here for you black only Israelites, you black only Israelites, you see that this is a Maya corn god statue. None of these people in these statues look like black people, right? Not one of them. Not one of them looks like a black person. Not one of them. But what we do see, here's their traditional dress, right? But what we do see in this picture here is a Mayan man on the bottom here. What's he wearing? He's wearing a costume of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent with the crown on his head, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. They might have their own name for him, but they get the idea of it from their forefather, Moses, right? You see this lady here, this man here, they look just like these masks. You know what I mean? They don't look like. So the artwork and the history match up, right? And so from there, I want to go to right here, Judges 5 and 14. Out of Ephraim, meaning out of the northern kingdom, was there a root of them against Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people out of Machir came down governors, and out of Zebulun, they that handled the pen of the writer. Okay, what else are the uh, the Maya known for? Uh, the Maya are known for the Popol Vuh, and the Popol Vuh is a text recounting the mythology. Well, they call it mythology, but it's really and the history of the Quiche people, one of the Maya peoples who inhabit Guatemala and the Mexican states of Chiapas, Campeche, Yucatan, and Quintana Roo, as well as areas of Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. The oldest living written account of the Popol Vuh is a foundational sacred narrative of the Quiche people from long before the Spanish conquest. It includes the Mayan creation myth, the exploits of the hero twins. Okay, so in this Popol Vuh, their creation story, it tells you that the Maya people themselves came from where the sun rises, across the water where the sun rises. They themselves tell you that they came from the Eastern Hemisphere. And now we have a thing with these indigenous only Israelites making a big deal because uh, they're saying that the tribe of our Lord is not a black man, that he's indigenous because of the fact that they have found these statues here of Egyptians that look like indigenous people. And so their argument is that the Negro is not an Israelite, right? But even if these are Egyptian people depicted in these statues, and our people do resemble them, it says over here in where is it? Let me just get it easy. My phone is really slow when it comes This is Hebrews 7 and 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. What does evident mean? Right? Let's look up the word evident. Uh, define evident. Plain or obvious, clearly seen or understood. Okay, so what did it say there? In Hebrews 7 and 14, for it is plain, obvious, easily to be understood. It is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Okay, so it's physically plain, physically obvious, right? That our Lord sprang out of Judah. Just like it's plain and obvious that I'm an Indian, right? I'm not white. I'm not black. I'm native, right? It's plain and obvious. So it was plain and obvious that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Want to go to this article? Now, this is just, not, this is not anything biblical. This is just an article, right? But it's going to back up my point. So I'm going to use it. The difference between Israel and Judah. We see throughout the rest of the Old Testament that these two nations fought with one another and they became strong and independent and created two distinct lineages in history. Each had their own kings and even their own prophets. The point of me, okay, so sadly, both Israel and Judah fell into captivity, although to two different powers and at different times. The Most High sent the Babylonians to capture the house of Judah, and he sent the Assyrians to conquer the house of Israel. Okay, the point of me bringing this out is to show you that they each became strong and independent and created two distinct lineages. Okay, let me look up this word distinct. Distinct. Recognizably different in nature from something else of a similar type. Okay, so to you, uh, to you, to you indigenous only Israelites and you black only Israelites, you're off. Zebulun is the, the 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 Central Americans, and they are the 12 tribes of Israel, and our Lord sprang out of Judah, who is a black man. Like to say, um, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. That's where I learned this truth from. Shalom.